Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I'm your host, Airsoft Al, and welcome to another PayPal-sponsored review. This one is, of course, the whole tier, as in the tier where I review the entire fucking story. And so today's one is, of course, the Enduring Flames of War. The Enduring Flames of War is a Halo Mass Effect crossover, a little bit more different than Johnny Boy 11's. Now, I am going to spoil a little bit of this and talk about things I didn't like and what I did like about this, because this is one where it isn't until the later half where things actually do start get interesting. And let me just go ahead and point out something real fucking quick. There is a point in the story where, well, I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? Let's start at the beginning. Basically, it's your standard, the Master Chief is found and is discovered and all this other good jazz. Basically, he's on the Forward Unto Dawn half and yada yada yada. You've seen a lot of Mass Effect stories that have done this. Now, of course, this does follow the timeline of Mass Effect 2 to 3. The big thing, though, is that there are a lot of stupid moments in this story. Among them, of course, is one where a Forerunner is back, and he basically comes in, and a lot of other stupid stuff. It is just, dear God almighty. It was confusing when the Forerunner showed up, and then just absolutely forgotten by the end of the story. Like, literally forgotten. Just basically, oh yeah, he got defeated, fucked off, all that good jazz, when fighting the Reapers. Even though, in reality, the Forerunner technology would absolutely curb stomp Reapers, as does the UNSC and Covenant weaponry. Numbers aside, there have been a ton of videos that have actually talked about this subject, and one that legitimately has stated that, yes, the Reapers would lose. Now, if numbers were on their side, yes, they would get some wins in, but they'd still get a massive loss in terms of casualties on their side. But, then again, the story would not be as interesting if the Reapers kept getting destroyed left, right, and center. The other thing, like I said, I didn't like was the fact of the author decided to use some elements from that horrid corporate fanfiction that was the Paramount Halo show. And dear God alive, that, oh dear sweet Jesus, and the reluctance to share the history of the Human Covenant War. That just...
Go, team up.
That was stupid. That was legitimately stupid. If you want to gain trust of people, you gotta show them your fucking history, people. Like, what the hell? What the actual hell? And then there's the fact of, oh hey, yeah, no, the Chief and Shepard are probably going to be a couple. I'm sorry. No, sweetheart. Just no. Just no. But, with that out of the way, what did I like about the story? I legitimately liked a good bit of elements. Rex was actually well written in this story, including a nice little funny moment where Cortana apparently has a baby. And it legitimately, Rex's reaction made me laugh. It legitimately was funny. I even liked a few of the anecdotal stuff, and the fact of one of them was literally Sergeant Johnson basically making his own version of the Rapture opening. Again, a nice little bit of fun there, and legitimately I did enjoy it. The other thing I did enjoy was some of the politics and the fact of the Asari legitimately are acting like a bunch of shady bitches, and the fact of they essentially now have a civil war on their hands, or a brewing lead up to a possible civil war or an armed uprising. That is a little bit of fun. I do legitimately did enjoy that. Again, the politics was actually kind of the fun element of this. I did like the ideas, the elites, the Sangheli, the Swords of Sanghelios. I did actually like that element. I did like the fact of, you know, they are treated as a warrior species who was dishonored and now is trying to basically find their own way in the galaxy and trying to find redemption. Now, the big thing is that, again, in lore, humanity was considered the inheritors of the mantle of responsibility, which again endeared them to the Swords of St. Helios, who saw them as the rightful inheritors of their god's stuff, basically making them battle brothers, sisters, what have you, a lot of other religious mumbo-jumbo, and more or less just, shogunate, samurai, Bushido code, what have you. Basically being endeared and indebted to humanity and will happily serve and die for humanity type, again, samurai, code of honor stuff. The big thing, though, ladies and gentlemen, is that, again, there is a nice little bit of funny here because Shepard, who is a woman, by the way, femme Shepard, the big thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that Shepard is considered the Shepherd of Nations and is revered by the Singhili and elites basically the same way as one would revere a god, or at least like a prophet, essentially, a religious leader. And more could have been done with that, I'll be honest. A little bit more could have been done with that. A lot of missed opportunities with that, honestly. But, again, something I did enjoy. I legitimately did enjoy. Again, the story is about 50 chapters long. Right now, the current conflict literally was Palaven, the liberation of Palaven, which is currently going on, and even Shepard being chastised for the fact of she should be helping lead and gather the galaxy against the Reapers, not fighting on the front lines as a soldier. Don't get me wrong, we've seen elements of this with the elites, but again, with their culture, it's a little bit more different. I'm not going to say I'm an expert on Singhili culture, nor am I going to claim I'm an expert in Singhili culture, but even I'm going to say the Arbiter himself, the leader of the Singhili, fought on the front lines. The Great Uniter during their Great Schism during Halo 3. Again, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's a little bit hypocritical, but at the same time, I'm not saying it's not hypocritical. Yeah. Moving on. Overall, the story is okay. Like, it really is just okay. I mean, it's not great. It's not Johnny Boy 11 levels of good, and believe me, that dude is good at making stories. And honestly, in terms of a Halo Mass Effect crossover, I think I'm going to stick to Johnny's Exiles the New Power story, honestly, versus this one. Don't get me wrong, it's okay. It's just not Johnny Boy 11. Great. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Airsoft Owl, and if you want to help out the channel, consider checking out, of course, the links down below. If you want to help sponsor future reviews, once again, tier list down below to help out with that. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Airsoft Owl, and we have one more PayPal sponsor review. But that one's gonna be a minute because of the subject matter it has and the absolute batshit insanity that comes with it. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Airsoft Owl, and I shall see you lovely, lovely people in the next video. Till next time. Later.